Hi everyone, my name is Louisa. I am the Executive Director and co-founder of MareCet here in Malaysia. And I'm coming to you on this sunny day from the beautiful island of Langkawi off the northwestern coast of Peninsular Malaysia, where we will be here till the end of the month conducting our research and monitoring activities on the coastal cetaceans around the archipelago. Namely, we have been working with the Indo-Pacific finless porpoises and Indo-Pacific humpback dolphins since 2010, studying their ecology, habitat use and conservation needs. And I'm really excited to be speaking to you today because this year is special. It is our 10th year as a marine conservation and research organization, and I'm really proud of how far we've come and all the work that we've done. Through the years, we've been able to train local residents and local communities in marine mammal stranding response and sightings reporting. We've developed a marine education program for local schools called the Sea Science in Schools program. And through all the research findings that we have amassed, we have contributed them to local policies and management plans for marine conservation, as well as enabled for this beautiful area to be internationally recognized and designated as an IUCN Important Marine Mammal Area, otherwise also known as the IUCN IMA. And I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to each and every one of you who have supported us through the years, and also thank you to all the volunteers who have hopped on board our research vessel and assisted us in all these surveys. I'm really proud to say that many of them have gone on to forge their own path in conservation, pursued studies or careers as well in environmental related fields. As you can see, the waters surrounding me here are slightly turbid, which makes observing them visually challenging sometimes. Marine mammals also rely very heavily on sound for communication and navigation. So in recent years, we've been able to expand our research and monitoring activities to include a bioacoustics program where we are using underwater acoustic recorders to record the sounds of the seascape environment as well as the sounds of these coastal cetaceans, so that we can better understand what are the impacts of underwater noise pollution on these animals and their acoustic behavior. To tell you more about this bioacoustics program, I would like to introduce to you our budding bioacoustician, Saliza Bono, who will take you through the rest of this Expo talk. So we hope that we can keep going for the next 10 years with everyone's support. In the meantime, I have to get going with the survey for today, and please wish us luck. I hope we have great sightings out there. See ya and enjoy Expo. Bye!
Thank you so much, Dr. Louisa, for that quick introduction. And hi everyone, my name is Saliza, and thank you for joining us for today's talk. I've been interested in marine mammals ever since I was a little girl. That photo you see of me right there was exactly when I saw my very first dolphin in Australia. And I told my mom that when I grow up, I want to study marine biology and study dolphins. I guess you can say that I'm living my childhood dream, and I'm trying to make that little girl proud. During my early teen years, I found MareCet, and I'm so grateful to have a platform where I could further develop my interest in marine mammals. I volunteered for MareCet in 2014 with fieldwork and also with computer work, but then I was given the opportunity to join MareCet as a member in 2018. I went on to further my studies in James Cook University in Australia, where I did my undergraduate in marine science. I learned so much about the marine realm, but it was one fact that got me truly captivated in marine mammal bioacoustics. And that one fact was that orcas, or as you know of as killer whales, they have dialects. Did you know that? I come from a mixed race family, so the Chinese side of my family speaks a specific dialect called Hokkien. Growing up in Malaysia, I knew that there were so many different types of dialects in the Chinese language. We have Cantonese, we have Hokkien, we have Hakka, and so much more. So I always knew that humans have dialects, but I didn't know marine mammals had dialects too. That fact got me really interested in bioacoustics, and that's why I'm doing bioacoustics now. As I was learning more about marine mammals and sound, I also got to know about Weddell seals. These seals are found in Antarctica, and this is what they sound like. Don't you think like they sound like they came out straight from a sci-fi movie? I found all these sounds so cool, and I was instantly captivated and wanted to know more. It was also during this time that I actually learned that bioacoustics is actually a very important tool for the conservation of all these marine mammals. I'm sure you've played of a game called Marco Polo, where you'd have to close your eyes and scream out Marco, and your friends would reply by saying Polo, and you'll have to depend on your hearing just to find your friend to tag. Us humans are very visual species, so having to depend entirely on our hearing can get very challenging. The oceans are a dark and murky place. So marine mammals have to depend on their hearing and sound for basic survival needs, such as for navigation, for foraging and looking for fish, and also for communicating with one another. So sound is very important for these marine mammals. This is a video the MareCet team took of a dolphin swimming underwater. You can barely see that dolphin underwater. So studying marine mammals' behavior and ecology just by visually is not enough. And that's where bioacoustics and acoustic studies comes in very handy. The MareCet Bioacoustic program began in 2018, and now I'd like to share with you how we study sound, and I'll also explain a little bit about how noise pollution is a threat to marine mammals, and how we gather all this information to provide to the government to lobby for noise pollution as a threat to marine mammals. When we're out at the sea, we deploy a device called hydrophone, which basically is an underwater microphone used to record everything underwater, from snapping shrimps to dolphin sounds to boats passing by. We deploy this device on the left side and on the right side of the boat, and there's usually wires going across the boat all the time. Here's a video of how we deploy them. It's attached to a weighted rope, and we drop them into the waters. We drag this device along as we go following the group of dolphins. So we get to watch the dolphins visually and also listen to them live. So it can get really interesting. Once we have the data, we want to analyze them, and we have to see sound. So we see sound by spectrograms. The squiggly line that you see right there is the dolphin whistle. And on the right side of these spectrograms are the frequencies. Frequencies means pitch, so you'll have a wide range of frequencies. Just for reference, humans can only hear sounds from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Let me explain a little bit more about frequencies. So if you imagine a piano, actually, let me show you. So on the piano, you have low frequency to high frequency keys. Whales produce low frequency sounds, which sounds something like this. And then you have your dolphins producing mid-frequency range sounds. And some species of dolphins, along with porpoises, produce high-frequency sounds. Do you hear that? Exactly. These high-frequency sounds can be so high that they're ultrasonic and they're out of our audible hearing range. Different marine mammals produce different frequencies, and there's a wide range of frequencies. I'm sure by now you're eager to hear what the dolphins in Malaysia sound like. This is the Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin, and they produce whistles. On the spectrogram again, that squiggly line is the whistle. Let's have a listen. Humpback dolphins also produce clicks. On the spectrogram, the clicks are those vertical lines that you see, and at the end of this click train is a horizontal straight line, and that's also a whistle. These dolphins also produce burst pulses, or squeaks. The MareCet team recorded burst pulses for the first time in this species in Malaysia. So this is the first few findings of this sound. Let's listen. Don't you think they sound like a squeaky toy? Different marine mammals produce different types of sounds. You have whales producing songs, and you have dugongs producing chirps and thrills. Many years ago, the ocean was filled with the symphony from biological and environmental sounds like rain droplets hitting the surface of the waters or waves crashing on shore. But ever since the Industrial Revolution, humans have been putting more sounds into the ocean. One of the main sources of noise pollution is boat noise, and boat noises can be so loud that it disrupts communication underwater. If you see, I have to increase my volume so that you can hear me. Similarly, when there's two dolphins underwater communicating and a boat passes by, it's so loud that it covers or masks the sounds of these dolphins. So what they have to do is increase their volume or increase their frequency so that when a boat passes by again, they can hear each other. The spectrogram that you see at the top is a finding that we found in MareCet, whereby we found boat noises being that horizontal red line, and we found the dolphin's whistle right above those boat noises. Let's have a listen. These whistles may sound normal to you, but it's actually much higher in frequency. We've also found results whereby when there were no boats around, that these dolphins have a lower frequency whistle compared to these whistles when there were boats around. So these dolphins have to increase their frequency when a boat passes by, which can get very tiring and in the long run can even pose a risk to their survival. I'm sure you also get tired when you'll have to scream across a loud room all the time. Noise pollution can also lead to hearing loss, either temporary or permanent hearing loss. For example, if you heard a loud noise or if you go to a rock concert and you come out of the concert feeling like you can't hear a little bit, that's called temporary hearing loss. And that happens to marine mammals too. Noise pollution can also impact the stress levels of these marine mammals and can also disrupt migratory patterns, and in worst case scenario can also lead to death. Scientists have found that mass strandings have been related to offshore military practices where these sounds are so loud it causes panic in marine mammals and they have to leave the water. So what can we do about it? What can we do about noise pollution and the marine mammals? Policy change is an important way for the conservation of marine mammals. Yes, marine protected areas are great, but sound knows no boundaries, and sound can travel far across all oceans around the world. What we can do is to reduce boat traffic or to reduce boat speed, because a slower boat means less sound and can also lead to less collision with marine mammals, but in fact is actually more efficient for boat energy use. So providing information to the local government is one of the facts that MareCet wants to do. And we want to suggest boat speed limits to local government. We take inspiration from initiatives in other places, for example, in Florida, where there are signs for boat speeds in manatee habitats. An example of a success story of policy change is when the UN Convention of the Law of the Sea addressed underwater noise pollution as a form of marine pollution. And with this law in place, in 2020, Spain then rejected 4 Dutch oil companies from wanting to do seismic survey in whale migratory areas. Through our bioacoustic program, we hope to lobby for noise pollution to be recognized legally as a threat to marine mammals and other marine species in Malaysia. With this legal recognition, it is then possible to take further steps to protect these animals. There needs to be a policy that mandates acoustic mitigation in the marine environment. We have noise standards for cars and trucks on land, so why should we not have them for ships? As policy change and lobbying legislation takes a very long time, MareCet plans to continue our outreach and awareness programs, whereby we visit high schools or primary schools to tell the kids about marine mammals and conservation. But in our latest event, the Whales on the Wheels program, where it is a nationwide tour and we bring this truck across many different states in Malaysia. And we have little exhibitions of dolphin skeleton, marine debris, but also a little sound corner where we tell the public about marine mammal sounds and also the threats of noise pollution. Here is a quick video of Joanne, our outreach coordinator, telling the public about sound.
So that's actually how dugong sound like. They sound like a bird. Yeah. And then we have the humpback whale. So whale. So in the sea, sometimes they make sound. This is what you hear underwater. Yeah, so it's very loud.
In 2019, MareCet's research allowed for the Langkawi archipelago to be recognized as one of the IUCN important marine mammal area. So our next steps is to develop a boating code of conduct. As you can see, there are so many boats in the Langkawi archipelago, and these boaters don't even know that they have dolphins inhabiting the waters. So by having a boating code of conduct, it is important to remind these boaters that there are dolphins in the waters and also to be mindful about what to do around them. I am so proud of MareCet for celebrating its 10th year anniversary this year. We've come such a long way from basic research to outreach to expanding our research for the conservation of marine mammals. But we still have so much more to do, and we still struggle to do a lot of them. For bioacoustics, for instance, we want to record sounds in dolphin habitats for 24/7 from weeks to months on end. But to do this, we need high-tech devices, which can get very costly. So we are needing your support to further this research in order to share more information to the public and also provide scientific evidence to the local government. We at MareCet are really grateful for the support of WCN and all the donors has given us, and we hope that you do continue supporting us. We were not able to do what we have done without all these support. We can do so much more for the marine mammals in Malaysia, whose conservation is often largely overlooked in our country. I hope that you learned a thing or two from my talk today, and I also hope that you can help advocate for less noise in the ocean by simply sharing these information. Before I end my talk, as a reminder, if you're ever out at the ocean, just keep a lookout for marine mammals, or if you're ever underwater scuba diving or snorkeling, maybe listen carefully, for you never know what you will hear. Thank you so much.